we're here to connect with others, of course, but we're also here to connect with ourselves and our soul. So it's like I feel like we said human connect, yeah, like human connection, but I feel like the connection with self is low-key the most important.
Hello and welcome back to the Magical Lane. I'm your host, Maggie Jane, and today we have a very special, beautiful guest, Gillian, aka Fro, and I'm so excited to have her on today. How are you feeling?
I am a tad bit nervous.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, it's my first time doing a podcast, but I'm very excited to share. I'm Gillian. I'm currently 26. I'm from Jersey. I'm a creative to the core. I love fashion, modeling, poetry, and I love creating stuff like this. Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
yay, I'm happy to have her on. I feel like we haven't had too many like deep conversations, and so I'm excited to get into this today.
Yeah, I feel like we always like, yeah, yeah, we gotta.
Yeah. And it's great because today we're talking about human connection, and I want to start this off with a definition.
Okay, we asked chat.
Chat GPT.
Chat and human connection refers to the deep, meaningful bond that forms between people where they feel seen, heard, and understood. It goes beyond surface level interactions and involves empathy, trust, vulnerability, and emotional reassurance. Human connection can happen through conversation, shared experiences, eye contact, physical touch, or simply being present with one another. At its core, it's about recognizing and valuing the humanity in someone else
Mm,
and feeling that yours is valued in return.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Damn.
that. We're definitely gonna have like a deeper
Damn.
connection after this.
No, for sure.
Beyond our surface level interactions. Just like, hey, miss you. Good to see you.
No, for real. Because it's like you've been traveling, life be life, but
Yeah.
I'm happy we're about to tap in.
Yeah. So my first question for you is, what does human connection mean to you?
I feel like it's about pouring into some. I feel like I'm very selfless too, though.
Mm.
So I feel like I like it's just about pouring into people, seeing what they like, and just seeing how they move, and kind of sending love or just showing up for people. I think it's about also learning because we go through experiences
Yeah.
and like learning about yourself, learning about other people. Yeah. What about you?
What about me? I'd say very similar. Like I like what it said in the definition was just like
For real.
going beyond just like those surface level connections
Mm-hmm.
and interactions and actually like being present with someone. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's like the basis of human connection to me. It's just like actually looking somebody in their eyes and connecting and listening to understand, not just like listening to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just like love and also pouring into others and just being there. And I think being selfless is a super important aspect of being able to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like if you're selfish, then how are you really connecting and how are you even connecting to yourself?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I feel like for me, it's soul to soul.
Hmm.
You know, like for real. Like it's like
Yeah.
beyond all the like the stuff, the physical.
Yeah. Have you had any experiences with like the deep soul connections?
Yeah. I feel like I have some like low key past life connections
Mm.
that whenever I do interact with them in this life, like I know it's a past life, and I feel like we recognize each other and we understand each other in such a deeper, just a deeper way. I don't know how else. It's almost like I can't even explain it.
Yeah. What would you say is like your first interaction with that?
I would say it's two of my friends. They're one of my really good like girlfriends, both of them. And it's weird because I met them at different times, but somehow I still feel like we all three were existing in that one life. And it's
Mm.
kind of crazy because they haven't even met yet and we're planning on them even
Oh
meeting. That's a
wow.
whole nother thing. But like they have spoke like on the phone and just like, like yeah, just through the phone and it's like it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, past life connections are interesting. It wasn't my experience, but when I was in Costa Rica, there was one of the girls attending. She had like an extreme like past life connection with one of the musicians there, and it's like they were not speaking any words to each other. They were just like looking at each other's eyes, and it's like I see you and you see me, and we're just gonna sit here and see each other. And it was like observing that was like wow, it was really intense.
Yeah. I feel like in those moments though, I'm like also back with them in that life. And like
Mm.
it's like coming it's just making sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? Some people are gonna be like, yo, what are they on? Because I don't know. But nah, if you get it, you get
You
it,
get
you
it. I feel
know?
like this audience understands.
For
If they're still here, they get
real.
it.
We got
If
so
you're
weird so fast.
literally. No, I love it though.
No, for
That's what we do.
real.
We get deep, we get weird.
Love it, love it, love it.
For your connections, would you say that you have like a lot of strong and deep connections in your life?
um yeah, yeah. I feel like I've tried to better the connections that I feel like now I'm just more self-aware of like what
Mm,
connections are of benefit to me and what are not.
yeah.
And like I'm just more aware of pouring into where it's more benefit, but also like parental connections.
Mm,
Like that's a whole nother that's a whole nother topic of connections. And I
yeah.
feel like I've definitely gave my parents a run for their money.
As we all have.
But now as like a 26-year-old, I I I try to prioritize like that those kind of like family relations, as well as prioritizing myself in those connections too.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
did that make
Yeah. So
Okay,
like I mean like putting yourself first, but
correct,
also like honoring the connection with your
correct,
family. Yeah.
yeah.
It's important.
um I feel like as 20 somethings it's very important for us to reparent ourselves. Not that our parents didn't, you know we are our experiences, but um I feel like it comes a point in your life where you really have to sit down with yourself and have a really honest conversations.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's ugly, it's sad, it's emotional, it's angry, whatever it is. But yeah, I feel like reparenting yourself is crucial to like your self growth and the longevity of like your mental health, low key.
Yeah.
Low key.
No, literally. Yeah, because if you don't put in that work and like I always like remind myself that it's okay to like have experienced trauma and for that to affect you, but at some point you can't use that as an excuse anymore.
Exactly.
It's like you're a grown ass adult. Like, yeah, that happened in your childhood and it sucks, but
Yeah.
like, what are you doing to better it? How are you moving forward from it? Or are you
Mm-hmm.
still letting it like run your life?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not easy conversations, but
Yeah, they're
you have to do
necessary.
them for yourself. Like, for self, like, it's like, it's crazy because human connection, like, we're here to connect with others, of course, but we're also here to connect with ourself and our soul.
Mm,
So it's like, I feel like we said yeah, like human connection, but I feel like the connection with self is low-key the most important.
it
you
is.
know
It is.
like if you don't have the connection with self, then how can you even have um connections with others,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel like one thing I've had to like remind myself a lot on is like you can prioritize your connection with yourself while also still having like a lot of beautiful connections with other people,
Yes.
and you don't have to like choose, because I feel like I kind of put myself in that bubble. Like
Okay.
it was very black and white. It was like, well, I can either only have like connections with other people and like kind of like please others, or I just like have to choose myself all the time. But it's like, no, I choose myself and put myself first so I can have those connections.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like, don't get me wrong, in any connection, there's gonna be friction,
Yeah.
but I also don't feel like it should feel hard, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. How do you strengthen that connection with yourself?
For me, I have, like, I journal a lot.
Mm.
So I have, my journals are honestly my best friends.
Yeah, no,
I
literally.
have stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks of journals. Like, so many journals of like my early, like my 18, 17, 19, you know, versus like 21, 22 versus now. Like, for me, that's been my my outlet, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel growing up like I would have to say that I've bettered my communication so much because I wasn't really able to like express myself. So I kind of, in like my early 20s, it was kind of like, all right, what are we doing?
Mm.
You know,
I
like,
feel you.
you know, what are we doing? Hold on. My journals just always were my besties, you know.
Yeah.
So even now, I have like my 10 things. My every day. At least I try every day. Some days I don't get to it, but
Hey, that's okay. Life is life.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. My 10 things that I'm grateful for every day
Oh.
is something that like kind of really just helps me like just reground myself,
Yeah.
and really reflect on like what's going on and like just things that I have that, you know, be grateful, girl. Like,
Yeah.
you know. And then I kind of like lead into like a prayer after that, just and then I kind of just free flow after that, and let it take me wherever it's gonna take me.
Yeah.
um
I feel like you definitely exude that energy. You're
yeah,
very positive, very bright. So it's like a very bright light.
thank
So it
you.
shows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be trying. You too, though.
Thank you.
You're like golden,
Aw.
always.
Thank
Of
you.
course.
That's why I'm like happy to have you here, so we can like
Aw.
actually sit down and have a conversation.
No, for real.
I love it.
I feel
We
like there's
just-
always just like so much going on.
No, literally, we just
Like
be
in like
out.
having fun, you know,
Yeah.
having fun. But
Yeah.
it's also good to have meaningful like conversations like this too, you know,
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah. I feel like with the whole group, I haven't had an opportunity to like really connect with everyone, because it's like just in the group settings, and then everyone thinks I disappeared, but I'm like, I'm still here.
No, we love it for you. You're like a free soul over here, over there, and there. I love it. No, we love you. We all love you. Like,
Like speaking on group connections,
uh-huh.
have you had an experience where you almost felt more lonely being with someone than being alone? And like lonely like with that connection.
Damn. 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 I feel like for sure, for sure. I feel like romantically in some of my relationships, like my past relationships, I feel like I stayed longer than I should have,
Mm.
which kind of would result. I feel like I love people so much, and that's why like now I'm kind of like, nah. If you don't appreciate my love, and if you don't see my like who I am for me,
Yeah.
then like I'm out. Like I'm now it's kind of like I used to stay too long, but now I'm being so real. It's kind of like I'm gonna pull out. Even this kind of something that I'm being so vulnerable right now. I swear.
That's what we love.
I swear. Now it's kind of like I'm at a place where I value myself so much, and I know and I say this so humbly, I
Yeah.
love myself so much, and I know like how deep my love is. So at the first sight of like danger, I'm out,
Mm.
which is kind of not the best thing either because no one is perfect.
Yeah.
But for sure, I was saying like in overstaying would kind of cause me to then like at that point feel more alone than actually like in union with the person, you
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
which is like such a whack feeling.
It is. And I feel like we've all put ourselves through
Oh.
that. And I mean, with
Mm.
you saying like that, like now that you're just like kind of like if I see any sign like I'm out of there, that's valid because like the connections and like the dating scene out here, like relationships, it's crazy. And I think that's super real because like a lot of the times we will ignore the red flags. And like I know
Yeah.
from like what I know about you, like you're not like, oh, I see this one thing, like don't ever talk to me again. It's like you're so loving.
Yeah.
You're so loving.
Dude, I feel like I'm patient. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect too. I'm
Yeah.
Puerto Rican. I'm crazy.
She
No,
said
no, no,
I'm
no.
crazy.
No. Like I definitely do have my moments, but at the end of the day, I feel like communication, because I feel like there's been even in like in friends, like there's been moments where I'm like, wait, whoa, that
Mm,
shit really just made me feel fucking lonely,
mm,
you know? And it's just
yeah,
like, mm, yeah, it's just not, it's not a good feeling.
yeah. I feel like that's a big reason why, not like that necessarily, like specifically, but definitely a part of it, like the loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Why I've kind of like pulled back a lot from being around
Mm,
everybody, and it's not
mm.
even that group. Like it's literally like
No, no, no.
everybody.
Yeah, I feel like LA could be so surface level sometimes.
Yeah. It's like I went to Costa Rica and had like such like very deep, like eye-opening,
Meaningful.
meaningful connections, and then I come back here and I'm like, okay, let me like I can't just like get right back into the swing of everything because it's so easy to like go on some type of retreat or like spiritual experience like that and then just like lose it all. And I was like, I'm not losing this.
Damn.
It's like
Damn.
it's so. Have you had any like spiritual retreat experiences like that? Have you
To be
done
honest,
anything?
no. It's definitely on my bucket list.
Mm,
Um,
definitely recommend. I feel like you would thrive in
no, for
that.
sure, for sure. And honestly, seeing you go like be so free, it's so inspiring.
Mm,
Genuinely. Like, I don't. It's like living in LA. It's not a lot of souls that care,
yeah,
or like it's nothing against them. It's
yeah.
just like, you know
Everyone's in
don't
their
get me
own
wrong, like
world.
I love LA, like
Yeah,
I love LA, I love the culture, I love the arts, I love the creative energy, the views.
yeah.
But as a transplant, it can feel lonely in it.
A
Like,
transplant. Where are you
I'm
from?
from Jersey.
Jersey. How long have you been in LA?
5 years now, dude.
Okay.
Like, as like, I mean, I moved out here with my brother. My brother kind of lives a little bit further away from me right now, so I don't see him as much.
Mm,
So it's kind of just me, you
mm,
know?
yeah.
And that shit is, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's so strengthening and independence, and I love it, but it's also like, damn,
Yeah.
damn, I call my family sometimes like, hi,
I feel
I
you.
miss you.
Yeah. None of my family's out here either. It's just me.
Mm.
And like I'm grateful because like
Mm-hmm.
Johanna's in my room. In case
Mm.
y'all know,
We love
we love
Johanna.
Johanna.
Cheers to Johanna.
I'm just pointing at the wall like this girl right here, like Johanna.
Mm-hmm,
She
mm-hmm.
just moved here, and I was really good friends with her in Arizona. And so
Cool.
like she moved out here, and I was like, yay, some like a little more piece of. I mean, Arizona's not my home, but like
Yeah.
my
Your
home that I
your
just left.
community, your community. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, LA's like it's a lot, but there's so many people like you can connect with, but like the people that are, I feel like I feel like everyone is willing to have deeper connections.
Mm-hmm.
People just don't trust. They're like, what's your
Mhm.
ulterior motive here? Like, why do you want to connect
Mhm.
with me more?
Mhm.
And it's like, because I'm a human being.
That's what we're here to do. Hello, ding ding ding. Like,
Literally.
that's yeah, yeah. I feel like um because of like the internet and because of I don't even mean to bring like this up,
No,
but
it's
I feel
important.
like it's changed because of the internet and because of social media and because of everything like at our fingertips here. It's really it's really gotten in the way of just human connection, you know, of
Yeah.
just being able to go out and like have fun and not care because God forbid it's I post a clip of something and it goes viral like now where it's like a whole
Yeah.
nother conversation. The whole world is looking at it now. It's like good energy, bad energy, what's in the comments, like, yo, why? Like, don't get me wrong, I still be on TikTok doom scrolling.
Yeah.
You know, we love to like nah, but it's like it's ruining the ability to be present with people.
Yeah.
With its which is the whole point.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's the whole point. Like
I feel like since coming back from Costa Rica, I've had like a lot more just like real and deeper connections. And I've like, it doesn't, it pushes me to stay off social media. Because I feel like a lot of
wow.
us are on there because we're craving that connection. We just don't know how to find it anymore.
Gem. 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 Damn. That's true though.
It's like, it's so
Damn.
crazy. Like our generation, and I pray for the younger generations.
Oh man.
Truly, I
Oh
pray, I
man.
pray,
The
I
iPad
pray.
babies.
Yeah.
No, dude, I don't. You're right. We gotta pray for them.
Yeah. Sending
We
lots of
really
love to
love
y'all.
for real,
Yeah. But it's like
dude.
we're all on social media, and I feel like, I mean, one thing that I've been like told a lot is that our brains are not made for the amount of exposure and connection that we experience through the internet. It's like we should not have access to the whole world. We are in one location for a reason, and it's literally fucking with our heads. And we forget to live like in the
It's
world that we're
true.
in because we're like
You can open this and see, be in
in
a
a
thousand other
virtual
worlds, whatever
reality.
world you want. Like
Yeah.
but it's really, yeah, no. I feel like, but even in, I don't know. That's so. I'm in LA now, and I've traveled like the East Coast, like so I'm from Jersey, lived in Miami, lived in like parts of Florida. Now I'm here, but now I'm like I need to live abroad and like
Mm.
experience a different a
Mm.
different way of like different way of life, you
Yeah.
know, like because I know that this I don't know, I love America, but I don't know that this is what I want for like my family and for my kids,
Yeah.
you know? So I need to go venture.
I
I
agree.
know it's coming soon.
How would you? What has been like the key component to making connections out here in LA for you?
People surprise you out here. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the thing. Like low key you think you're locked in with somebody and then you're not.
Mm.
So it's like eh, I don't know. But then it's crazy because I've also made beautiful connections out here that it's
Yeah.
they're just so easy and free flowing and happy and
Yeah.
laughing and just like present under yeah, just mutual like understanding and love and pour, you know? So and I don't know, I feel like with those connections, we're just so present with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're just I don't know.
I feel like it's really like a reflection of the people. It's like how present are they with themselves? Like that's gonna be a reflection
Ooh.
of
Ooh.
the connections that they're gonna be able to have. Like you mentioned that earlier.
Mhm. Mhm.
Of just like you have to pour into yourself to be able to even have connections with other people. And I feel like
It's true.
if you're lacking that, like your connections aren't gonna be that great.
It's true.
Yeah. So self-awareness and
Mhm.
being present is super important. Have you would you say that like throughout most of your experience in life you've had like a lot of presence and deep connections, or is that something that you've had to like learn on yourself, like by yourself?
Um, I feel like there's been people present, but they're not present,
Mm,
which has been something that I feel like my whole life I've had to put the pieces together.
yeah.
You know, just like kind of, you know, um, yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
That's my answer. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Like,
I agree. I feel like I've had a very similar experience.
uh-huh.
Just people not doing their own healing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Not everybody wants to have
Yeah.
the the conversations with themselves, because it's
Yeah.
like, why are we 35, like, you know
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. I have a question.
hmm
Do you think that we as a society nowadays force connection?
oh wow, damn, I feel like in certain cases,
Or do you feel like
uh,
there's like a pressure to be connected and stay connected and
yeah, but
always
I feel like,
connect?
yeah, but I feel like that just takes away the whole fun of it,
Yeah.
you know you're yeah, I feel like with, but again, it goes back to this: everything is here, it's the convenience is there, so it's like, okay, I'm bored,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what
I feel like what's your take on networking?
I feel like there's a very fine line between, like, are we networking or are we just like wasting time
Mm,
too, you know
mm,
like,
mm.
but then, yeah. uh,
Can you give more details on what that fine line consists of?
I feel like networking is when there's actually like, there's like, it's two different people, but there's somehow a gray area there.
Mm,
So like, it can be work, it can be interest, whatever, food, whatever, and I feel like if you guys are mutually coming, like, interacting to better each other, then, like, okay, I would say, like, that's kind of networking,
yeah.
because it's like we're, now we're like, boom, we're like adding stuff. But then if we're just connecting to, I don't I don't know, like,
Let me get your Instagram.
yeah, yeah, because it's like, okay, you're gonna get my Instagram, but am I ever gonna actually talk to you after today?
No, literally.
Yeah, no, yo, yeah, man, that shit, yeah.
What's like the biggest thing you would say you had to unlearn around like networking and connecting business wise?
I feel like sometimes when I first meet people, I like to give people, like, the benefit of the doubt always,
Mm,
but I feel like I'm also in the process of learning this too. Like, um, I have to sit back and observe a little bit longer,
mm.
and just kind of, you know,
What do you mean by that fully?
um, I feel like when meeting people, I like to see the good in them,
Mm,
and like I feel like that's just the kind of person that I am. That's just kind of how my
yeah.
lens works.
Yeah.
But and then I'm kind of like, okay, like, cool. But but sometimes it's like, hold on.
How
Hold
much
that thought.
how
Like,
much of this is real?
hold that thought. Cuz
Yeah.
there's people that, like, I'm like, "Oh." Initially I'm like, "Hmm." My intuition is kind of like, "Hmm." And then I'll be like, and then I'm like, "Damn, they're kind of growing on me now."
Mm,
And then something unfolds and it's like, "You were right." You're,
mm. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Intuition never lies.
You know? And that's just about a random ass situation.
Yeah.
Random. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just, I was like, whoa, how did that happen?
And I feel like I find it really hard whenever I'm like in such like a deep stage with myself to like go to social events because I'm like the small talk kills me. And just it's like I want to have deep
Mm.
conversations and it's like it's almost to a point where I'm like not even really giving the space for connection. It's like I almost like go in with the intention of like I don't even want to connect with anyone because I don't want to go through like the small talk or like the first initial stages of connection and like
Mm-hmm.
I got to check myself on that sometimes because it's like Maggie, it's not that serious. You know, like you can still have that deep time with yourself but also like do the highs and hellos. How are you? Who are you? Where are you
No.
from?
Damn. Nah, I feel you. I feel you. It's I I feel like I'm also at a point in my life where I'm reassessing like what are we doing? What are we doing? Like don't get me wrong. I love I love going out and like having a good time.
Yeah,
You know, it's fun, but it's also like
yeah. When did people stop asking like intriguing questions? Like, why does it have to be
I feel like
so
it's crazy because it's
short?
we crave intimacy so bad as humans and as just even with like not even intimacy on like a sexual level, but just
Yeah,
intimacy with one another
yeah,
as a girlfriend, as a homie, as whatever, as a stranger at the coffee shop, you know, like
yeah,
whatever. But we run from it almost. We run so far the opposite way. It's almost like we're contradicting ourselves
yeah.
because nobody really wants to be vulnerable. And it's
Mm,
all about the image because of this, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
um I don't know.
How do you go about connection with like strangers and just like people in like your normal everyday life? Would you say that you connect with like a lot of random people, or are you like more to yourself?
I feel like I definitely have my introvert and my extrovert moments.
Mm,
um I might like not be having the best day, so I'm like more to myself, you
yeah,
know, or
yeah.
like I might
Understandable.
just see a beautiful girl, like a woman walking down the street, and I might be like, oh my god, not like not hollering, not even let me actually not even driving. Hold on, let me backtrack. Like I might just be outside and walking down the street, and another woman is walking next to me, and I love her pants, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I love, like I'm gonna hype her up, like you're so beautiful,
Yeah.
like you know. So I feel like I teeter between both, you know.
I would agree with myself. Yeah. Why do you think people are afraid to like speak up and like give those compliments or like say what's on their mind?
I mean, I feel like it really comes down to confidence within yourself.
True. That is definitely a big aspect.
Um, or I don't know. Honestly, I'm the type of person that I like to spread love. I
Yeah.
like to spread kindness. I like to, you know, make someone smile. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe she wasn't having a good day, and I just, you know, something.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like that's kind of how I like try to. That's always my intention, you
Mhm.
know, in interacting with people.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I do like a lot of like promotional like modeling gigs and
Mm-hmm.
I was working one time and I was like doing like samples of something, and this guy like comes up to me. He's like, "I don't want anything, but keep smiling, because when I turned that corner and I saw your smile, it made my day better." And he's like, "Not everybody gets to see that type of smile in their day," and I was like, "That's so real." Like a lot of people go and throughout their days, and nobody's smiling at them, nobody's hugging them, nobody's giving them like a genuine conversation. It's
Yeah, I
so
mean that's
crazy.
nah, but you're not wrong at all. But I feel like no, why you living your life that way?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's not that like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're just probably like so shut off and shut down from like experiences that they've had. Like they don't even know the first step to take to like even bring back connection anymore. So it's like they just
Damn.
isolate.
Ooh, I mean I've definitely been there,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but that's definitely not what we're here to do,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
like it's through connection that we learn about ourselves and others and just have our experience have it life. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah. It's so fun. I love connecting with people. One thing that I'm like really trying to start doing with myself, especially like since having this podcast, because I've almost like trained my brain in a way to like one listen better
Okay.
and just like being more present in conversations, because I remember when I first started doing like guest interviews, I was so focused on like, okay, like how's this gonna go, I gotta get through all my questions, and I wasn't like actually like listening to what they were saying, and like maybe the conversation was flowing good, but like I was not feeling good about it. And it's like now I like actually feel calm during my interviews.
Mhm.
And so that feels really good. But just like trying to ask like more thought provoking questions. Just like when I'm out and about. Like when I came back from Costa Rica and I went to the Good Friends Radio, I want to talk about like books and spirituality. And I was so like that was the first time in a really long time where I was sober, like completely sober, and just like fully accepting of like myself. And I was like, I don't have to conform to what other people are doing. I don't have to conform to the conversations that are being had. Like I can initiate and start my own conversations. And I did that and it felt really good. And I was like, wow, I think we should do that more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like thinking about what you want to talk with others before actually meeting up in a group setting is kind of a good little um like intention to go into the setting with. So because then I feel like you're more intentional
Mm.
on the conversations you're actually having. I'm gonna take
Mm.
that actually.
Mm. Do it. Do it. Spread the love.
Yeah, yeah.
Spread the
Yeah,
love.
no, but how would you say that do you feel that being sober has changed your human like has changed how you connect with humans?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because it allows me to be one more present with myself. And
Okay.
when I'm not sober, I'm dimming myself down. And it like, unless everyone else is like also doing the same thing, like one of my I think one of the main reasons why I wanted to be sober is because like I would have interactions where like I was like high or drunk, and then like a sober person would try to talk to me, and it's like I literally can't even be on your level even if I tried. And it was like I don't want to experience that, because it's like if I'm sober and like I'm interacting with somebody who's not sober, like that's a different scenario. Like I can understand you, you may not understand me, but like I can understand
Damn,
you.
damn, 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 damn. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
But it was like I didn't want to be on that opposite end. Like I didn't want to be the person that couldn't understand just because I chose to get high that day or
Mm-hmm.
drink.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I had my fun with that. And I'm not saying that I'll like never do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But right now in this phase, I would definitely say it's helping me be more of myself and just like have more genuine conversations. Because it's
Mm.
like we all smoke and we all drink for a reason that we're not speaking on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're right for sure, for sure. Um, but I feel like, but maybe this is just the opposite end person talking. No, 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 no. I feel like there's moments where like it's okay to like just have fun, but then I feel like there's definitely
100%.
moments where like nah, we really gotta be serious,
Yeah.
though, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm also Puerto Rican, so don't like.
No, I agree. The reason I'm doing this is because I've been having a lot of fun.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Like
I feel
the
you.
last many years, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like okay, let's get serious again and like
Okay.
actually focus on
Nah.
responsibilities and
Yeah.
like getting my shit together.
I love that for you, babe. Love that for you.
It's Like I was having a lot of fun in Costa Rica too. And
Yeah,
like, that's
yeah.
when I like officially decided it's like, okay, when I get home, I'm done. And like I had my birthday and I was like, all right, it's my birthday, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do whatever. Then after that it's like
Yeah, your birthday was fun.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do you keep your heart open to new connections whenever you've gone through like a lot of heartache or just like keeping the past experiences in mind? Like how do you hold on to the not hold on to the past, but like stay aware of the past but also like stay open to new connections?
Mm, I feel like you have to know how to release. Like when let's say like a connection ends with someone, it's also like it gives you time to reflect on like what happened, why did it end. Clearly there's some pain, like there could be some pain there, or there could just be some there is anything. And I feel like you need to reflect and kind of let go of what obviously is not gonna serve you going forward,
Yeah.
but then almost like keeping your little bag of like your gems of like, well, I went through this, so I lost that, but I gained this, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab that,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna store that, and then when you look, like, you have these gems that you learned that like can continue to propel you going forward.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely about releasing though. Like I feel like releasing like old like things that don't serve you, releasing maybe like things that like experiences that maybe changed your own opinion or perspective on yourself, knowing like to just what's not serving you, release it,
Yeah.
and then keep your gems though.
Yeah.
Keep your gems, because
Yeah.
that's what you got to keep to live, for
Yeah.
yourself, like,
Yeah. Every experience definitely teaches you something.
you know if yeah, literally. What about you? how would you I don't know, respond to that question?
Definitely just being aware.
Period.
What? That was just funny.
Period.
Like, going back to what you were saying earlier, it's like you're listening, but then it's like, okay, I'm observing, I'm taking this in.
Mm.
Um, and just like also, I feel like the biggest thing is just noticing like how I'm personally like reacting or feeling. It's like what about that person is triggering me? And is it because they're bad or is it because I'm unhealed?
Damn, honestly, that question right now is very like, it's definitely something that it's literally I'm experiencing right now. So it's just like, damn. But then
Yeah.
it's also like, how do you know? Okay, question. No, I'm actually question.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm actually asking you this question. How do you know? Like, is it them or is it me?
Well, I feel like it's not your job to know whether it's them.
Okay,
I feel like
okay,
it's
okay, okay.
it doesn't matter whether it's them or not. It's how are you going to move forward with that situation? Like what are you going to do for yourself and how are you going to take that interaction and move from it? Because like you can't
Mm,
guarantee that they're going to heal from it. Maybe they're just going to hold on to that and be like forever, you know? So it's like I feel like you can't focus and worry so much about the other person and like who they may be, how bad they may be, or like what they're doing, because it's like something in that is a reflection of you.
it's true. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like you just have to focus on yourself and like how you're
Damn.
reacting and like how it makes you feel. Cause like and then just hoping that they're doing the same. And then you can talk about it.
It's true. Damn. Damn.
That was
That was a good answer.
thank you.
Because it's true. It's never about them. It's about you.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And like, I mean, I used to put a lot of blame on others, and it's like, oh, like why are they that way? Why is this happening? Like, why did they do that? And it's like, it's not about them. Why does it piss you off so much?
Damn.
Why are you so frustrated about what they're doing? Why are you so focused on another individual and not
It's true,
yourself?
though. It's true.
And
It's
it's like,
true.
you just gotta reflect internally.
Mhm.
Just like ask yourself those questions, because like you can't control other people. Like, as much as we
True.
want to try, like we cannot, and we can't even control like half the things in our own lives. So it's
That's
like,
true.
you really think you control another person? And it's like, yes, manipulation comes into play, but like that only lasts for so long, unless you just like, I don't even know. But
Mhm.
I feel like the biggest thing is just like giving love and sending love
Yeah.
to that other individual,
Mhm.
and also to yourself.
Uh-huh.
Compassion is a big thing.
Mhm.
A lot of self compassion, more love, and just
Yeah. It's
a lot
true.
of self journaling.
Journaling. Nah, I really always tell people like they'd be like, "Nah, that's not my outlet." Nini. I'm like, "Bro, just get a pen and a paper and just write. Just start writing
Yeah.
about anything."
It can
Like,
be anybody's outlet. I preach that on here.
no, literally. And I feel like I don't know, for me it's so healing. There's some pages in my journal where it's literally chicken scratch.
Mm,
And that's how that I but that's also when I see it, that's also how I know that I was in flow,
yeah.
but then also there's other pages that are there's so many tears on that one page you don't even
Yeah.
like. Okay, maybe I'm hyping it, but like, like there's like I wrote something or I was writing and I can tell like, damn,
Yeah.
she
You can
was
see the emotion.
she was going through it.
Yeah.
Damn.
And look at you now. Got through it.
Yeah.
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 Do you have any like role models? I'm not like the biggest fan of the word idols, but like any
Mhm.
role models that you look up to as far as like bettering yourself.
Wow. um mm, when I was little, um I would always look up to Angelina Jolie
Mm.
because she is like a mom and a creative and a freaking icon.
Yeah.
She's tapped in on so many different outlets for like herself, like creatively, but then also like giving back. Um and yeah, I really fuck with
Mm.
her. But also like I have to say my mom.
Yeah.
I have to say my mom because she she has given me so many tools for myself, to better myself, to strive for better, that without her I don't even, it's so it's like, oh, it's almost cheesy, but like without her I don't even know,
Yeah.
who I would be,
Mm.
because she's so independent and strong. I could never, like, there's so many times in my life where like there's just moments in my life where I'm like, no, my mom went through too much for me to sit here and like,
Yeah.
tolerate X or Y or whatever in any different case, like so many different scenarios. To me, for me to sit here and like settle or deal with
Yeah.
this, or I'm out, or like whatever, like
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
No, that's real. That's real. Like they didn't go through all that for us to just be stupid.
You gotta continue to break the cycles and the,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your take on like breaking generational cycles and trauma?
I'm tired, Grandpa. I'm tired. I feel like that is a reason why we need to reparent ourselves, because if we want to break the cycles, we also can't be like stubborn or like to reflect on I also feel like sometimes when we talk to our parents about these things, it's not always received in the
Yeah.
best light.
Yeah.
But then that's also the patterns.
Mm.
It almost goes hand in hand, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you really just need to reflect on your tree, because I bet you've seen patterns within your own life that you can say that you've also seen in your parents' life, or whatever, whoever, like there's no way that you came from them and there's no attachment there, like that's your
Yeah.
family tree,
Yeah.
so just knowing what to keep and knowing what to let go is like crucial to self progression,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. Would you say that like a lot of people in your family are actively doing that? Are you kind of the lone wolf on that
Honestly,
journey?
no, honestly, I love y'all. I love y'all. I really do love y'all. I love y'all. There's a couple,
Yeah.
but honestly, not even. I feel like I'm out here. I'm the lone wolf.
I feel like it's always the one that moves away.
Yeah, I feel like but even growing up, like I kind of always felt like the black sheep. There's moments in my um just in my life where like I just didn't feel like I belonged, like didn't feel like I fit in. Like I was definitely that person in high school that was like friends with a lot of different kind of people.
Same.
Because like I never, it wasn't just one type of like thing for me. I wasn't just like didn't just run track. I didn't just, like it was just
Yeah.
yeah. But I feel like I send so much love to us, and like courage, and like just love, because we need it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not easy. It's definitely, being so honest, it's definitely like a lot of times of me just crying in my car. Like
Real.
driving through LA.
Real.
Like, at the
no.
red light. At the red light, like fuck. Let me grab a napkin. Like,
Yeah.
like damn. But I'll tell you, I would rather be here than in Jersey, like still going through the same thing, and like don't get me wrong, I love where I'm from, but
Yeah.
I don't know, for me, I feel like, and I stand so strong when I say this, I feel like a life lived in one place is a life wasted. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like in order for you to grow, and in order for you to, for self progression, like you need to feel uncomfortable, and you
Yeah.
need to feel just just being okay with being uncomfortable is key,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I feel like most of my life I've been in like more uncomfortable situations than I have comfortable because I've just like moved.
Damn, that's so real.
And it's like now I'm like trying to find like a more comfortable situation and just like because I've been like on the go for so long and I moved around so much.
Can we tap into what's like your where like what's up? What's up? How was like your upbringing? I feel like we never did we get into, I don't know if we ever got into that.
Well, like I went like I'm from a small town in Illinois.
Okay.
And I like grew up there for the most part. Moved to like a couple different middle schools in Illinois.
Okay.
Still in like small towns. I went to 4 different high schools. And
damn.
The first one, 2 of them were in small towns, and then no, 3 of them were in small towns. One of them was in a bigger city, and my sophomore year is when I went to like the bigger city, and that was like the first time I was like really exposed to like diversity and just like different cultures, different aspects of life. Like going from a small town to a bigger city is like a huge difference
for sure.
And then like after that, I feel like that experience definitely like shaped a lot of who I am. Just like that one school is like, I love this, it's great, and it's like that's where I got exposed to like poetry and like getting into dance and just like more connections. Also a lot of crime, but I'm like, wow, balance. Like
Damn. Uh-huh.
yeah. And then like I went to college in Pennsylvania.
What part of Pennsylvania?
Harrisburg. I was at Penn State.
What, oh, okay. Wait, what part of Penn State? What? I'm
not
sorry.
not the main campus.
What Harrisburg is like what part of Pennsylvania? Like north, east, south, like
Ooh.
it's okay if you don't know.
I think like closer to the Virginias.
Okay, so more south.
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up driving to Pennsylvania a lot to see one of my aunts.
Gotcha.
So that's why I was asking, but
I was
yeah.
only there for 6 months.
Oh.
So like my time in LA is the time that I spent out there.
Okay.
Yeah, did not pursue my college path.
Okay.
Because I was gonna go for criminal psychology.
Damn.
Yeah, but I'm good off that. Still very intrigued by it. But
Mhm.
I'm good off that.
Okay. Okay.
And then like after that, I left college, moved back to Illinois, started working, and then that was in 2021. And then by the end of that, end of that year, I moved to Phoenix with my mom, and then I was there for like 3.5 years, and then last year I started my travels, and now I'm out here.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
like lots of just being on the go.
Wow. How do you feel like moving around so much has shaped like you connecting with other people?
Um, at first it was very, very hard.
Okay.
Like very difficult. Because I feel like as a child I felt like I was just getting ripped away from all like my connections and my friends. So it's like, oh, I'll go here, I'll make, because like I can easily make friends, like super easily.
Duh. Duh.
And like I was very similar to you. Like I didn't have just like one group. Like I was friends with like every aspect of person in high school, except for like obviously the people I didn't want to talk to.
Yeah.
But like I kind of just like got to a point where it was like I don't even want to try to make connections because I know I'm gonna leave. And it's like I got in the mindset of like I know I'm gonna leave. And it's like it's not that people were like leaving me, it's like I'm gonna leave y'all. So like let me spare you. And then like that fucked with me for a while, like a long time.
Like at what age do you feel like you were feeling like that?
I'd say it like hit in high school. It's like my teen years.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe even earlier, cause, well, like the kids that I like grew up with in my small town, like I went to like multiple middle schools, and then I like would always come back. Like after I left, I spent my first year of high school with the same group, and then after that, I haven't been back to that town since. Like, and that was like 2018. Haven't seen any of the kids that I like grew up with, and barely talked to them. So I feel like after that moment, it was like, wow, okay, yeah, yeah.
Damn. I feel like I can kind of there's like certain things you're saying I can relate to too. So I grew up in a Catholic elementary school, like in a very like ritzy town, I guess you could say. But then I lived in like a different county, so like it was a whole nother vibe.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So then I grew up, I went like K-8 with like the Catholic school, and then my mom, like, we couldn't really afford the Catholic high school, whatever, so I went to public school in my county. So like that was low-key when I was really exposed to like, I mean, I did, it's like it's not like super bad, but
yeah,
I was just exposed to way more like delinquent like,
yeah,
and then I really built a core there, I like from freshman year to junior year. But then even in like, well, in high school there was like a situation where I kind of just up and left my senior year. My senior year, like October, like I kind of just was like, all right, I'm really uncomfortable in this school right now, and like I'm a very private person, so when people know shit about me, I just don't like that fucking shit. I really don't like that. Like I'm a very private person, so yeah, but also like stuff was going on with family too that I kind of just needed to like eject myself from New Jersey. So I basically just did that with my dad, and I moved to Florida, like into Kissimmee. Like I went from like being in New Jersey, which is like very like fast paced and city, like because I'm right across from New York.
Yeah, true.
And to like just like rural ass Kissimmee, Florida. Love y'all to death. Love y'all to death. But like, where am I?
Yeah, that's definitely like, a big shift.
Where am I? You know, and like, yeah. But honestly, my whole senior year, I was very isolated because I almost had like I had an idea of what I thought that my senior year was gonna look like, and then I almost took that away from myself, like, because I was just like, I don't know, it felt right that like I felt like I had to leave, but what like
so your senior year was like at a new school?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I was very like just mad. I call my like high school phase and like after I graduated high school like my rebel era. Same. Because I was just raging. Raging, yo. Luckily, like, you know, I mean, it got me here, but yeah. Damn, dude.
It got me here. That's
damn. Cool. Like, yeah.
I feel like that's like a great experience. It builds the strongest people.
Dude.
Like if you're raging in high school, but like can grow from it, it's like cool. It's like you didn't peak at that time. That's great.
Yeah, no. My parents were definitely like, yo, what's up? I went ghost on them for like 10 months because I was just not having it. I was just over everything. Like off grid. Like, no, for real. Yeah.
A lot of growth happened, I'm sure.
Dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And I feel like we wouldn't even know it, but that's like probably part of like why we connect. It's because like both very free spirited. We both like ditched our hometowns to come out here and just like kind of like separate from the craziness of like what we didn't want, and now we're out here pursuing a life for ourselves. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, but you just made me think of something. Like self-connection, right? But then how do you connect to those different versions of yourself?
Like your past selves?
Yeah. But also like what there's so many different versions, like your inner child, your like inner rebel.
Yeah.
Your like inner 20-year, well, that's kind of, but like, you know, like you're, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're never disconnected from them because it's a part of you.
True.
I mean, just like I feel like, I mean, one way that I will like actively like reconnect with my like past or like younger self is like writing letters, journaling.
No, I feel
it
you.
always goes back to journaling.
No, I feel you. I've written so many letters to myself.
Just like having the conversations, just like I feel like we're so afraid to like, because it seems so cheesy, but like just like sitting down and like getting out a pen and paper and just like be like, hey, 16-year-old self, like look at us now. And it's like, it may seem so cheesy, but it's so like impactful. And I feel like that's a good way to like reconnect. Just have a conversation with her, because it's within you. It's like what we do with our higher self, just on like the other timeline. You know. Yeah. How do you connect with your higher self?
I try to think about what does she like, what does she look like, what does she do throughout her
Mm.
day? Um, you know, like honestly, even today when I got ready, I was like,
love your outfit.
"Thank
I feel like I've never
you,
seen you dressed like this,
thank
but it's so
you."
you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. So in that, I was like, "Damn, what do I want to wear today?" You know, like. and
It's
then
an
I was
important
like,
question.
and then I was like looking through my closet, and then I seen this, and this is actually like it was given to me from one of my roommate in Miami, Ronnie. She's one of my good friends. Um, and I've had it for so long, but it's been sitting there for a while. Like it's been sitting there, I haven't worn it. And I saw it, and then I was like, I thought was like, okay, what would your higher self wear? You know. And then I seen this, and I was like, "This is what she will wear. This is what she will wear." She put up super like natural, but like still like showing her
Stylish.
style, you know.
Yeah.
And
No, it's super beautiful.
thank
I love
you.
it. I want to get myself like more long, comfy gowns like that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm transferring out of the like. Don't get me wrong, a crop top and some jeans still go crazy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I'm like trying also to like transition out of that and like more into like what my high my higher
Yeah.
self.
The elegant, classy. Yes.
You know?
I can see it. It fits you.
Thank you.
It fits you.
Ah!
I love it. I feel like that's a super important thing is to like visualize and ask yourself that question. Like with your daily choices, like what would my higher self do? What would she be doing right now?
It's true. There's this meditation that I kind of like to. It's kind of just like really simple though. It's kind of you like visualizing yourself like in a forest and like obviously like getting descriptive with that, but then also like okay, so like you're observing your higher self, like you see it's almost like you're walking in a forest and like you see your higher self in the distance. So like you're just observing them as like a third party, like like okay, wow, like that's cool.
Yeah.
And then like okay, let's have a convo now, like let me go initiate like convo and like let me just sit and see what they have to tell me. I don't know, or see what whatever, and just kind of letting that take you wherever. Yeah,
I love that. That's so beautiful. I love doing visualization exercises like that. It's so important.
it is, because it really gives you perspective on that, like for it to manifest, but also like where you are now, you know. How do you feel about death?
I think it's beautiful. I think we shouldn't fear it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like more people are dead when they're alive before they actually die. If that makes sense.
It does.
Cuz like they're not really living, and I feel like we get so caught up in trying to like be successful or achieve all of our dreams and like do all of this that we forget to like actually live. And like I mean, even going back to like the topic of like we're not meant to be exposed to like the entire world, like I feel like that really ties into us not like really living and being present, because we're just so caught up in this like, what is somebody in Turkey thinking about me right now with this video that I just made? But like it doesn't fucking matter, like you could die tomorrow.
Damn. No, you're not
and it's
wrong.
like that's gonna be your last thought, was your social media video about somebody across the world thinking about you. It's like
I don't know if y'all listening though. I don't know if y'all listening. Damn, that's true.
I try to remind myself, like, yes, I have goals, of course, because like you never know when you're gonna die. But it's like you also have to remind yourself, like, you could literally die tomorrow. So I think it's like it's important to have like that connection with death. It's like expecting it. It's expecting it and honoring it and seeing it as a beautiful thing. Like if you have that connection with death, then it allows you to like really appreciate each moment. Because it's like, this may be my last. Treat it, like we always say, like treat your day as your last day, because you never know. What would you say?
No, I've definitely. I feel like I needed to hear that though too.
Mm,
Honestly, I feel like I needed to hear that. I feel like I definitely feel like we need to make peace with death because it's inevitable, like you said. It's crazy because the way that you took the question wasn't how, but the way you answered the question, I feel like I needed to hear that, because I was thinking more of like your loved ones passing when I
got
asked the
you.
question. But
Got
no, no,
you.
no, no, no. But I love where you took it because it's true.
Yeah.
If we're not living presently, then are we really living? And if we're not living,
Yeah.
that's kind of a problem, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I feel like it even goes to like with loved ones as well. Like when your loved ones pass, like it's inevitable.
it's
We're
true.
all gonna die.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's why it's super important to like forgive, be compassionate, not hold grudges, have the hard conversations, tell people you love them, compliment
Mhm.
them, tell you miss them, see
Mhm.
them, and it's like
Mhm.
I feel like a
Mhm.
lot of people get stuck in grief because it's like, oh, I never got to have that conversation. I'm like, that's on you.
It's true.
Regardless of the time that they died, you had time to do it. You could have done it the same day y'all got in that argument, but you chose not to. And it's like, if they died that same day, then like that's obviously a different situation. But it's like the odds that they died within like a week of you guys arguing is very low. Like I know it
Mhm.
happens
Mhm.
because like life's crazy,
Mhm.
but I feel like yeah, just being present and not holding on to things because like life really is
It's
short.
short.
It's short, and like we
Mhm.
all hear it, and I think we label things as cheesy because it's almost like too simple for our minds to really understand, and we want to make things more complex than they really are, but like
Mm.
there's no need for that, and then that's where we get fucked up because we want to complicate everything. But it's like just say you're sorry, forgive, admit that your accountability is a big
Accountability.
thing.
Accountability is definitely, and I feel like throughout this whole podcast, we've been listing um, like self-awareness and accountability and like just different ones. But I feel like that's definitely one to add because
Yeah,
holding yourself accountable, holding others accountable is crucial. It's
yeah,
crucial for human connection.
yeah,
You know.
it is. Yeah, because I feel like not to call my mom out, but I mean I've called her out many times. Love you, mom. But like she was one person who never wanted to take accountability, and she would take like
Mm.
the victim route.
Oh wait, mom.
No,
No, no, no, no, no, no.
we're calling our moms
Mom,
out
mom, mom,
today. No.
mom. Love you, love you. But it's like I can't even come to you with certain things because you're already like running with your own narrative.
Yeah,
It's like, but
yeah.
no.
You just gotta set your ego aside, take accountability, and like be able to hold space for one another. I think that's super
Mhm.
important. And it's
Mhm.
like going back to like that question that you asked earlier is like, well, how do we know if it's me or if it's them? Like it doesn't matter. Like how
Mhm.
can you hold yourself accountable and then try to hold space for them?
Yeah, I feel like holding space is definitely another major part of just human connection
Yeah.
because sometimes you need to ask like, hey, do you have space? Like I'm kind of about a like I kind of just went through something right now and like I kind of need to like, do you have space for me? Like
Yeah.
do you have your own emotional capacity to actually take in what I'm gonna about to say to you? Because sometimes you might call me and I don't, and I didn't answer because personally like I just
Yeah.
didn't have it that
And that's
day,
okay.
but
Yeah.
then I might call you back and be like, hey, I'm actually like, I debriefed my day, Mimi, I have, and
Yeah.
respecting that space
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
is crucial.
I think it's super important. It's like it's such a simple question, but it's so powerful. Like, do you have the space to hear this right now? And it's like if the person says no, like respectfully be like, okay.
You know?
I'll find somebody else who does, or I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's gonna have
But
the space.
also, like, sometimes one thing that I'm learning, that like I'm really learning right now, is like when something happens, like when something first happens, like the bomb just went off. Like, you don't have to run to your mom, you don't have to run to your parent, you don't have to run to your bestie and have to key over it, because clearly you're emotional. I mean, clearly the bomb just went off, so you have, your emotion. Don't get me wrong, there's some bombs that go off that you're like, I need that, like, I need it right now. But it's not always that it goes off and you need to, like, seek that validation or seek that. Sometimes it's good to just sit with it, like, maybe call the person that the bomb went off, the person that actually went, give, keep it, and then, maybe catch up with them another day or something, and then we can debrief, and then, instead of, like, you don't, because I feel like, honestly, I was someone where, and I love my mom, if she might hear this, I don't know if she's gonna, whatever, but sometimes, like, something would happen to me, like, be friend, be like my car, be anything at work, something, and sometimes, like, in calling, it almost is like adding more, like, I wouldn't say negative energy, but like
unnecessary.
Yeah, because it's like I haven't even low-key, like, self-regulated myself. I haven't even taken the time to low-key, like, self-regulate myself in my own emotions, that, like, I'm talking to you, like, low-key, like, not manic, but, like, depending, like, depending on, like, this, maybe I'm crying, maybe I'm manic, maybe I'm angry, whatever. And, like, sit with that, journal, take out a, like, cry with the journal, and, like, you don't always have to, like, need that,
it builds your self connection.
It does,
because I feel like if we're so reliant on other people to, like, soothe our nervous systems, then it's like you're setting yourself up for failure. Because, like, what happens if everyone's busy that day? You're gonna, like, crash out and burn?
No, no, literally. No, that's, yeah, sometimes it's good to, like, just sit, pray, like,
go into nature. Mother Nature's always there for you.
Universe.
Yeah.
The universe. Yeah.
I like that. That's important. No, definitely needs a moment.
No, yeah. That was great. Oh.
I think we should end it there.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sending y'all this Palo Santo love.
Yes. How can the people find you?
Oh, hey guys. Oh, okay. I don't know why. I honestly, I sighed like that because it's like, follow my Instagram. It's so like I get it. Obviously, follow my Instagram. You guys can find me there.
Well, if they listen to this full conversation, they did get, like, a deeper part. And
True,
so maybe
true.
they do want to connect with you.
No, you're not wrong.
But it's just like,
it's just
for my duty here.
No. Okay, my @ is not the usual with 2 underscores. I'm fro on there in case you don't find me. Sending you guys this love. Peace.
Peace. Thanks for listening.
Word.
See y'all next Thursday.
Cheers.